All right, y'all, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yah, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. We pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. His own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another and seek not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, of whom you trust. But had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote it. Believe not his writings. How shall you believe my word? Proverbs 15 and 32. Hey, check and see if somebody in that bathroom. And if not, could you cut that light on, please? Thank you, sir. Proverbs 15 and 31. 32, actually. He that refuse instruction despise his own soul. But he that get reproof, get understanding. The fear of Yahuwah is in the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Let's take a look at somebody who despise their own soul because they refuse instruction. Matter of fact, make it Jeremiah 42. Now, of course, if you recall in the beginning of Jeremiah 42, they asked for Shalom, man. They asked for Jeremiah to intercede on their behalf. We'll pick this up at verse 8 or verse 7 of Jeremiah 42. Shalom, gentlemen, shalom. Praise Yahuwah indeed. Praise Yahuwah indeed. Verse 8 of Jeremiah chapter 42. It came to pass after 10 days, the word of Jeremiah came, the word of Yahuwah, came unto Jeremiah. Then he called Johanan, the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces which were with him, and all the people from the least even to the greatest, and said unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah, Elohim of Yasharal, unto whom you sent me to present your supplications before him. If you will still abide in this land, then I will build you and not pull you down, and I will plant you and not pluck you up. For I repent me of the evil. Planting would come from obedience. The plucking up comes from disobedience. Look at the statements of the Lord. Look at what he says. I want you to come down here to Matthew chapter 15. Pick it up at verse 7. Matthew chapter 15 and verse 7. You hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy you, saying, This people draw near me, near unto me with their mouth, and their hearts with, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. So pause. This is coming to mind. Come over here to Ezekiel 33 and 30, if you would. Because this is what usually occurs, of why people draw near with their mouth, but their heart far away. And that heart being far away is based off your lust, and you get lifted up in your pride, so you will refuse the chastisement or the correction. You will refuse it. Jeremiah chapter 33 and verse 30. You know what? Make it 23. Ezekiel 33 and 23. The word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, they that inhabit those wastelands of Yasharal speak, saying, Abraham was one, and he inherited the land, but we are many, and the land is given us for an inheritance. Wherefore say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, you eat with the blood, and lift up your eyes towards your idols, and shed blood, shall you possess the land. Look at what he said. Why do you think he sit back and say, you eat with the blood? You lift up your eyes towards your idols and shed blood. What do you think he mean when eating with the blood? You think he's literally talking about, because you got a law that tells you not to eat anything mixed with, and not only to shed blood. Well, let's take a look. Oh, what you got? Isaiah chapter 1. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Verse 10, actually. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 10. He said, hear the word of Yahuwah, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the Torah of our Elohim, you people of Gomorrah. See, this is another example when he say that the Lord was crucified in Egypt and Sodom and Revelation chapter 11. As you see right here, he called Jerusalem Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, why would you think he would call them Sodom and Gomorrah? They did. He told you that in the book of Ezekiel, that they were oppressing like they were doing in Sodom and Gomorrah. They were going after strange flesh like they did in Sodom and Gomorrah. They were lawless. Let's go to verse 11. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith Yahuwah. I'm full of burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts. I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of he goats. You come to appear before me who have required this at your hands so to tread my courts. Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is abomination unto me. The new moons and Shabbats, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Your new moons and your appointed feasts, my soul hate. They are trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. And when you make many prayers, I will not hear, for your hands are full of blood. You covered in your sin. That's, you already know to come out of Ezekiel 33. He always tell you, your blood be upon you. So they shedding blood, they eating with blood, and now we can see how they were eating with blood, because you gather together on feast days and Sabbaths, and you wicked as the day is long. (33 and 26). Ezekiel 33 and 26. You stand upon your sword, you work abomination, and you defile everyone his neighbor's wife, shall you possess the land. And what this nigga brought a whole speaker. You planning on DJ? No. I can't tell. Oh, you DJ? I didn't know you live your life like that. I'll make sure I go outside. I'm gonna play songs on this thing. They're gonna be DJing little church. That gonna make me nauseous on the inside. Y'all think I'm playing? Yes, shit. Them songs get activated now about 12 and a half minutes. Listen what he said, the thing that he talked about. Remember what Revelation 21 and 27 says? Nothing that defiles, nothing that works abomination or make a lie will dwell in this place. And you think you're going to dwell in the house of Yahuwah and you eating with blood? You think you're going to sit down and feast with this man and you got sin on you? Or you think you're going to worship idols and dwell there? Or you think you're going to be shedding innocent blood? Oh, I get it. You can work abomination and defile another man's wife. You think you're going to possess it? Absolutely not. See, that's how people sit back and they look at things, that you can do what you want to do and you still gonna get the reward. You will not. That's not happening. Say you this unto them, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim. As I live. If he's saying as he lived, what is he saying?
He's swearing.
He's swearing on his name. That means you can go ahead and take everything he say to the bank. But if he say as he lived, he ain't going back on that word. See, you have some things where he'll say it and he'll repent of what he said he was going to do. He'll turn from that based on the actions of the people. But when he swear on his name, that's the stamp. You're done. You're finished. It's over. As I live, surely they that are away shall fall by the sword, and him that is in the open field will I give to the beast of feet of power. And they that be in the forest and in the cave shall die of the pestilence. I will lay the land most desolate, and the pomp of their strength shall cease, and the mountains of Yasharal shall be desolate, and none shall pass through. Then they shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I have laid the land most desolate, because of all their abominations which they have committed. Also, you son of man, the son of your people, the toil talking against you by the walls and in the door of the houses, speaking one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, hear what is the word that comes forth. And they come unto you as the people come, and they sit before you as my people, and they hear your words, but they will not do them. For with the mouth they show much love, but the heart go after their covetousness. And lo, you are unto them as a very lovely song, of one that have a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument, for they hear your words, but they do them not. And when it come to pass, lo, it will come. They shall know that a prophet have been among them. So he let him know. He said, yeah, you want to come? Boy, that word sound good, didn't it? He said, but they ain't going to do not damn single solitary word of it. You know what I'm talking about? And why? Because they saying that you love the man, but the heart want to do what it wants to, which means that you do not desire his instruction, which means you would be a bastard and not a son. And that means you don't want to be a partaker of his catastrophes because you don't see the prophet in the adherence to his will. Back to Matthew chapter 15. Cut it out. 15 and 7 again.
Hezekiah. Come on, sit.
Get out that kitchen, boy. You ain't no girl.
Come on and sit down.
Ain't nobody women in there.
Hey, come on, sit down.
My bad. Matthew 15 and 7. You hypocrites. Well did Isaiah prophesy you, saying, this people draw near unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for the doctrines, the commandments of men. These people spend a lot of time worthlessly teaching many, many things because you're teaching the things that are of men. Remember what Yahushua said in Luke chapter 12, to beware of the leaven of the scribes and Pharisees, because it is hypocrisy. Most of the teachings of men are hypocritical. I want you to come to Colossians chapter 2. You can still hold Matthew 15 and Jeremiah 43. Grandma, sit down. Matthew chapter 2, verse 18. I'm not Matthew, I mean Colossians chapter 2, verse 18. Excuse me. Colossians chapter 2, verse 18. Grandma, get back over there where you're supposed to be. Put that down, boy. Colossians chapter 2, verse 18. Let no man beguile you of your reward in voluntary humility and the worshiping of angels, those things which ye have not seen, vainly puffed up in his fleshly mind. Now I want you to understand something, right? He said, don't let nobody deceive you. Let's look at voluntary humility and what it translates to in Greek. I'm gonna popcorn smell like feet. Hey, get your feet off that wall, boy. Stop making all that noise and sit up straight. You ain't gonna lay down and sit up straight. Excellent. I definitely will. All right, give me a second, young man. When you look at voluntary in the Greek, it is philo. It is to have in mind or to be resolved, to desire, or to purpose. So a desire or purpose of humility in this regard, that Greek word is taphophrosina, and it's a deep ones of one's moral littleness or having a humble opinion of oneself. So what does that tell you? That you see yourself a little greater than what you are. You know what that takes you to? Proverbs chapter 20. That take you to Proverbs chapter 20. I want to say verse 5 of every man declares his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find. You know what I'm saying? That's why he tell you in another. Matter of fact, come over here to Proverbs 27:1, if I'm not mistaken. I got you in 1 second, young man. 1 second. 27:1 is sufficient. You know, I was looking back. You know, we've been in the book of Proverbs with a few detours for about a year, and we're only about halfway through. So
That's kind of cool.
at this rate, we'll be done by the end of the year. Boast not yourself of tomorrow, for you know not what a day may bring forth. So you already need to know that. You definitely don't need, because that's pride when you boast in yourself in tomorrow. That's why he say, if you say, Lord will, Yahuwah will do this and we'll do that. Because your life is but a vapor. You don't know what it's going to bring. Pride is the only reason why you think you're going to be here tomorrow, or you think you're going to be here next month, or you think you're going to be here next year. You don't know how long you're going to be here for. And you don't know what's going to happen. See, we think we're going to know what's, you know why we believe that we know what's going to happen? The complacency of living every day. So you figure every day going to be the same. But as these white folks just done showed you, every day ain't the same. Because you went to stores and restaurants every day, and then the next day you couldn't go. You went to the park to do this here, the next day you can't go. And I was reading this to them earlier, I seen this here. Well, you know what the white folks finna come with? They finna come with something called UBI. You know what that is? Are you familiar with that acronym? I know you're probably not. It's called Universal Basic Income. So they're going to get everybody a basic income so you won't revolt because you're going to feel like the government going to take care of you. That's why I tell her earlier, I don't want the people money because I know it comes with strings attached. Anytime somebody give you something, especially a governmental structure, strings are attached. And you know what the string is? When trouble comes, your God will take care of you, a.k.a. the government. Stuff go down, I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. I'll give you a check. I'll give you a stimulus check. You ready for it too. And they looking at you, damn fool. I got something for you. They said that we were reading the same article. It said 2014, they got universal credit scores in China, and they looking to do the same thing over here. All of that would be a part of your digital wallet. You can't, you know what would happen if everybody said, man, keep those stimulus checks, nigga. You're going to open my business up. What could the brothers do? See, we don't think that way because niggas cowards. You know what I'm saying? You trust me. And when I say them, I'm talking about everybody. Not just black folks. Everybody. They cowards. Because you ready, I need that stimulus check. Nigga, what you going to do with $1,200? Nigga living in New York City, that ain't gonna pay your rent. You know what I'm saying? God forbid you have children. What that gonna do? If they really like this nigga here shooting, 3-4 son going to his bed. You have to pay attention to the floor. Don't nothing come for free from the government. The worst part is they giving you what's yours, and then they gonna make you give it back and tax you on top of it. But nevertheless, Proverbs 27:1 again, boast not yourself for tomorrow, for you know not what a day shall bring. Bring forth. Listen what he said. Let another man praise you, and not your own mouth. A stranger, and not your own lips. Now, how many examples could? Let's look at something in Matthew 16. We see a whole Colossians chapter 2, Jeremiah 43, and Matthew 15. Look at something what the Lord did in Matthew 19. We tell you that there. Every man praise his own good. Every man can tell you how good he is. And just so you know specifically, that is Proverbs 20:6. Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find. But over here to Matthew chapter 19, I believe. Oh, Brother Sharon said over there in the UK, the government said they're going to do sent them a letter saying they're going to do all they can to put food on the table. And niggas cheering. That's how you know niggas used to getting ramrodded with ungreased. You want them people to take care of you. You trust them. That's why you get excited for pennies. They really looking out for us. Stupid people telling you you ain't going to be able to, you got to, a 45-day, 60-day moratorium on foreclosures and evictions, not knowing that when that moratorium is risen, guess what's going to happen? You still owe that money. But guess what else will do to the landlord? He still owe his money. So guess what ends up happening? The banks take the property back, the wealth is shifted. You know what I'm saying? Same thing happened during the Great Depression. Research it. When they want to take the wealth back from the people, they cause economic calamity, cause the people to lose. They take all the wealth and the natural resources back, turn around and give you things that are worthless. But the thing is they'll make you excited to get things that are worthless. Because now you feel like they're looking out for you. They run the same playbook every day. You know what they tell you in football, right? What they tell you in football? Run the same play till they stop. Huh? You know what the Green Bay Packers used to run in the 60s? That Green Bay sweep. They knew that Green Bay sweep was coming. Little Lizzie. Cut that light off in there, little Lizzie. You knew that sweep was coming. They ran it anyway. USC had that same sweep when O.J. Simpson was running in the backfield. You know that student body right, student body left was coming. Can you stop it? You can't stop it. I'm gonna run it again. You can't stop it. I'm gonna run it again. You know why you know why I'm gonna run it again? Because it works. You know what I'm saying? It works. It ain't broke. What am I fix it for? And they doing the same thing now. Same thing now. And you get excited. We were talking about it earlier too. They did it to create the French Revolution, and they did it when they did the Russian Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution to be specific. They crashed or they took all the king's wealth and crashed the state of the economy to quote unquote cause the lower class to revolt, but it was all engineered so the bankers could slide in, take it over, and give the people what they wanted to give them and take all the resources. Now, them same people who they claimed they was looking out for are really left on the bottom because that was the plan. We used the useless eaters to further our aims, let some of them get killed, take all the resources, run the whole show, and make you believe that we came to help you. Same thing, it don't change. And you beg for it too. And like I done told you, the key component of communism is atheism. They don't believe the state. Ain't no state religion in China. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in none of that. Dang, he said over there in the UK, they outside clapping for the health service each night at 8 o'clock, cheering. Do you know how powerful you have to be to make 295 million people stay in the house? Do you know they just passed legislation saying in LA you can get fined if you get caught? Cut that light off. That you can get fined if they catch you out the house without a mask on. They didn't say, they said before, we recommend you wear a mask. Now they say you're going to get fined if you don't wear one. It ain't clicking nobody's mind. The lies you tell, find these nuts. You know what I'm talking about? You know that the governor in Michigan just said that you can get fined. Now you can't go to your people's house. And you accept it. See, that's why they do stuff like this here. Let me throw this out here and see what the niggas do. Let me throw this out here and see what they do. How many people? That's one of the things they want to come. You know, these people want to come. You know, in China, they already got this app to track you to see if you got coronavirus. And they want to do it here. And if you won't get vaccinated, you can't travel from state to state. This is what these people are trying to do. I'd be like, well, shoot, nigga. I guess I'll never leave Jacksonville then. Lies you tell. You know what I'm talking about? All this stuff. That's why I shared a story the other day. They got Google and Apple working together to triangulate. If you've been right, you got it. Who you been around to get it? And he's like, yeah, we need to because we gotta save lives. Coward and an idiot. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no difference than a woman got master's degrees and got all these jobs and get played by a nigga who dropped out of 9th grade. How you get played by a nigga with less than average intelligence? But be quick to tell everybody how smart you is. That's the American people. You know what I'm saying? The government ain't smarter than a 5th grader. You know what I'm talking about? He busting your back out. You like to see a girl, I love him. See, they like to see it, but he keep playing you though. No, I can change it. He really just cares for my well-being. No, you stupid. You stupid. You're a special type of stupid too, because you're getting played and you don't think you're getting played. You're deceiving yourself into believing. Yeah. 19 and 16. Matthew 19 and 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto me, Why call you me good? There is none good but one, that is Elohim. But if you were in the life, keep the commandment. Look at what he told him. Another man praised him. How many times when people praise Yahusha and he was like this here? He never praised himself. He said, let another man praise you. You know what I'm saying? But don't boast of yourself. That's what happens. You end up like the scribes, you be lifted up in your heart because you got this quote unquote voluntary humility is you faking like you humble, but you're really proud of the day is long. Go back to Colossians chapter 2. Run the party. He asked about Colossians 2 and 16. Let me see what it starts saying. Gotta just rely on what it says in English to make sure I gave him a clear picture. Of course, judge here is to pronounce an opinion concerning right or wrong, also to separate or put asunder. So he's telling you not to somebody to tell you that you wrong in the meat or drink that you're partaking in a particular feast day. Or of a new moon or Shabbat, because each one of those feasts, as we already know, are shadows of the coming of the Lord and his works, as well as the Shabbat. And then new moon is going to be Kadash, which is a set and appointed time. And that appointed time is dealing with his return to a certain extent. But let's come back over here to verse 19. Colossians chapter. Yes, I'll take that. Nah, my baby. Take it back. And not holding the head, from which the body, all the body by joints and bands having nourishment ministered and knit together, increase with the increase of Elohim. Wherefore, if you be dead with Mashiach from the rudiments of the world, why as though living in the world are you subject to ordinances? Touch not, taste not, handle not, which all are to perish with the using, after the commandments and doctrines of men, which things having indeed a show of wisdom and will worship and humility, neglecting of the body, not in any honor to the satisfying of the flesh. See, he lets you know that, you can sit back and you can deal with the doctrines of men, and it'll show you a little bit of skill, but it's going to show you how you worship yourself. Because that's what usually people who are very prideful do. They worship at the altar of themselves. Come on back over here to Matthew chapter 15.
Yeah.
15 and 10, if you would. Little Joe, you trying to walk over here? Look like you about to take a tumble. You see it coming. You smart. And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. Not that which go into the mouth defile a man, but that which come out of the mouth is defile a man. Then came his disciples and said unto him, know you that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Now, when you look at a plant to be planted, what is necessary for a plant to be planted? What has to be accomplished? Seed has to be planted. It has to be planted in the ground. So let's just take a quick look at Matthew 13, just real quick, like not the entirety of it, just one particular passage. 13 and 23. Well, you know what? Go ahead and get 13 and 19 or 18. Hear you therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone hear the word of the kingdom and understand it not, then come the wicked one and catch away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. You know what that is? That's a little bit of pride as well, because you're too proud to believe. That's why they say what was sold in his heart. Unbelief and pride was already there. The pride is because you don't want to humble yourself to the instruction. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same as he that hear the word and annoyed with joy receive it. Yet he have no root in himself, but endure for a while. When persecution or tribulation arise because of the word, by and by he is offended. He that also receives seed among the thorns is he that hear the word, and the cares of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke off the word, and he become unfruitful. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that hear the word and understand it, and which also bear fruit. Some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Come over here to Philippians chapter 1. So those who allow that word to fall into their heart are the ones who we as planted. Or as you can read Ezekiel 34, how he would make Yahushua plant over 9. That's another conversation for another day. I want you to come to Philippians 1 and 3. Philippians 1 and 3. Boy, hush. I thank my Elohim upon every remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine, for you all making requests with joy, for your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now, being confident of this very thing, that he which have begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Yahushua HaMashiach. Even as it's meet for you to think this of you all, because I have you in my heart, inasmuch as both in my bonds and the defense and confirmation of the gospel, you are all partakers of my grace. For Elohim is my record, how greatly I long after you in all the bowels of Yahushua HaMashiach. And this I pray, that your love may abound yet more and more in knowledge and in all judgment. Now look what he said, that he wants your love for God to abound in or increase in. That you know right from wrong, and that you know the knowledge of Elohim. In his letter to the Corinthians, Paul said some don't have the knowledge of Elohim. What did he say he spoke that to? To their shame. You know what I'm saying? Now, why is it a shame for them? Because they were supposed to know. See, it's not a shame for somebody outside the house. It's a shame for you when you're inside the house. If you don't have the knowledge of Elohim and you inside the house, that's shameful for you. Now, if you outside the house, you ain't supposed to know. Look at verse 10, that you may approve the things that are excellent, and that you may be sincere and without offense until the day of Hamashiach. Hold this right here. Let me read this last verse and then we'll go to sincerity. He said, being filled with the fruits of righteousness, which are by Yahushua HaMashiach, unto the esteem and praise of Elohim. To be filled with the fruits of righteousness, you'll be filled with the fruits of the Spirit, which can only be filled up with what we were discussing last night in regards to honor coming before humility, and in regards that you will have to perish. You want to stay alive and keep the word at the same time. And that's not how it works. You have to die and allow the word to live. If you don't die and allow the word to live, then you'll perish. Because all you're going to be trying to do is put old wine in a bottle. And it's not going to work. Yahushua, son of Nun, chapter 24. And 14. Now he told you to serve this man in sincerity in Philippians chapter 1, did he not? That you may be sincere and without offense. So listen to Yahushua, son of Nun, chapter 24. Now therefore, fear Yahuwah and serve him in sincerity and truth, and put away the gods which your father served on the other side of the flood in Egypt, and serve Yahuwah. Now, who remembers what that word sincerity was? It's tamaim. Do you remember what tamaim means? That's your perfection. So if you're going to serve Yahuwah, he said serve him in sincerity without offense. Serve him in perfection. And just for the definition, complete, whole, entire, sound, helpful, innocent, having integrity. What is complete and entirely in accord with truth and fact? So if you're going to serve him in sincerity, serve him with integrity. Be innocent in your doings and be completely entire. I mentioned this verse with Paul. We'll look at it now. Acts 24. Acts chapter 24. Verse 7, I believe. Make it 6. Acts 24 and 6. Who also have gone about to profane the temple, whom we look, and who would have judged according to our Torah. But the chief captain Lysias came upon us with great violence, whom yourself may take knowledge of all these things where we accuse him. The Yahudim also assented, saying that these things were so. Then Paul, after the governor had beckoned unto him to speak, answered, for as much as you know that you have been many years a judge unto this nation, I do the more cheerfully answer for myself. Because that you may understand, the year yet but 12 days since I went up to Jerusalem for to worship, and they neither found me in the temple disputing with any man, neither raising up the people, neither in the synagogues nor in the city. Neither can they prove the things whereof they now accuse me. But this I confess unto you, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the Elohim of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the Torah and in the prophets, and having hope toward Elohim, which they themselves also allow, that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both of the just and the unjust. And I herein do exercise myself to always have a conscience void of offense towards Elohim and towards men. See, this particular statement that he did. See, I want you to come over here to 1 Peter chapter 3 also, in regard to understanding that before honor their ability. You understand how humble this man got to be? This man is in chains. But yet, do you sense that there's any lack of hope or trust in Yahuwah on his part? Absolutely not. Come over here to 1 Peter chapter 3. Make sure 3 might not be what I want. Might be chapter 4. Oh, 1 Peter chapter 3, my correction. 1 Peter 3 and 8, if you would. Little Joe, what's wrong with you, little Joe? First Peter chapter 3, verse 8. Finally, be you all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous, not rendering evil for evil, railing for railing, contrarize blessing, knowing that you are thereunto called, that you should inherit a blessing. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and let his lips that they speak no guile. Let him depart from evil and do good. Let him seek shalom and ensue it. For the eyes of Yahuwah are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of Yahuwah is against them that do evil. Don't let nobody lie to you and tell you that it ain't, because Yahuwah don't fool with people who do evil. He just don't. And who is he that will harm you if you be followers of that which is good? But and if you suffer for righteousness' sake, blessed are you. And be not afraid of their terror, neither be troubled. Do you see Paul nervous or worried about what the people talking about? Did you see Yahushua nervous about it when he was in that position? Look at the next thing he say. But sanctify Yahuwah Elohim in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks you of the reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. Now, when he said with meekness and fear, what are we looking at? What it said in Proverbs 15 and 32 in regards to the fear of Yahuwah is the instruction of wisdom or the correction and rebuke, the chastisement. You get the chastisement, then you know what? You know what to do and what not to do. So therefore, you're reverential father. See, y'all already know from Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because the sin that is an evil work is not executed speedily. It is privily in the hearts of the sons of men to do evil. See, because you don't get chastised for what you're doing, you think you can keep on doing it. Not realizing, because you unwise, that he strengthens you in your disobedience, so that when he do chastise you, it's not chastisement for your correction, it's chastisement for your destruction. See, we don't consider that. That's why he say you're side children. And to do good, you have no knowledge, but you wise to do evil. You got all the skill in the world and the know-how how to do what's evil, but you ain't got no knowledge how to do what's right. And you know why we don't have the knowledge to do what's right? Because we stiff-necked. That's what sadish mean, to be obstinate. I want to do what I want to do. I don't care what he say do. I want to do what I want to do. But you notice how it says for you to speak of the reason of your hope and humility and with reverence to your father. And that is what Paul was doing in Acts 24. This is why any tree that his father has not planted, he will pull it up. Because when that seed falls on the ground and dies, it brings forth fruit. Well, if it's died, that means that person is no longer living for themselves. They're living for Yahuwah. So you have to ask yourself who you living for. Are you living for yourself, or are you living for Yahushua, the one who died and rose again for your sake? Because see, when you live for the one who died and rose again for your sake, then you're not coming with this voluntary humility, as if you're really humbling yourself under his hand. Which in truth is nothing but deceiving yourself. Because that's what he told you when you're not a doer of, because if you're a hearer of the word, that means you're a believer of the word. Because the just live by their faith. So because you believe it, you do it. But since you don't believe it and you call yourself, that's why he said you deceive your own self, because you're lying to yourself. And your pride will not allow you to accept the fact that you are deluding your own self. See, we're talking about that the other day, right? It's by nature that women have delusions, that they tell lies to themselves. The meaning they want to see things how they want to see it versus how things actually are. See, some call that being an optimist. Being an optimist is trying to see the good in everything. But most people are not optimists. They're really just delusional. See, you have to be pragmatic, meaning you have to see things for what they are, realistically. Yeah, you can look for the best, but you have to be realistic. Because if you don't see things for how they are, you will deceive yourself and find yourself in a destructive situation. You know what I'm saying? And you know why most of us don't know that? Because you ain't have nobody who has sense to tell you that and to teach you that and to show you that. You can look for the best, you can hope for the best, but if you want to see the best even when the best is not present, you lying to yourself. Because you have to look at things pragmatically to have a logical and reasonable solution or exit strategy to extricate yourself from that situation or circumstance if need be. Or the ability to adjust and adapt to what the situation is versus seeing it for what we want to see it for. And now that has trickled down into young men, because young men don't have the proper guidance. Now they walk around lying to themselves, trying to make themselves believe what is present when that's really not present. And then you get caught up in dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank, that's what it is. The purpose of life is to avoid pitfalls and destructions that you do not have to enter into. See, it's one thing when stuff happens outside of your control. It's another thing when you were an adherent and a participant and a chooser into stupid stuff. And then want to turn around and blame somebody for your bad choices and decisions. And you can't do that. Because I'm telling you, who ain't going to try to hear none of a brother I know asked, he said, I want to hear what Yahuwah would say to these pastors who didn't tell the people who they were. One brother was like, I like to be a fly on the wall. I say, bro, I'll be honest with you. Who ain't gonna ask the people nothing about why you ain't tell the people they're the house of Israel? He ain't gonna ask them nothing. He gonna pop their book open. He gonna say you done did evil, and he gonna say toss him in this lake. He don't want to hear no excuse, no talk about why you ain't do. He don't care. See, most of us are not familiar with that because you feel like, let me explain myself. Yahuwah ain't got nothing to explain. What did he tell them about that? And Abraham told him when they was in Abraham's bosom. You got Moses and the prophets, right? Didn't he say the same word that you reject? That's the same word gonna judge you. So when you stand before him, All he's looking at is, did you obey or did you disobey? That's all he cares. He don't want to know why you did disobey. He don't care. He does not care. How many times did you read where he asked him, so why you disobeyed? Did he ever ask him why?
Hey, be quiet.
No, he didn't care.
Quiet.
He said, I told you to do this and you didn't do it. And I sent somebody to tell you to turn from your conduct and your behavior so I won't have to do this to you. You didn't want to hear nothing they had to say. And then when the wrath comes, you want to start crying and weeping and calling on me. And then he like to say, I don't want to hear it. And you know what we'll say in this fleshly form? That's harsh. You can't do people like that. Where's the mercy? Where's the compassion? Mercy and compassion came when you were warned to turn from your evil ways and you chose not to do so. That's where it came at. So you don't get no mercy and compassion when if he got raped, you know what he told her? That's your problem. Because I had already told you this is what's going to happen if you do this right here. But you don't want to listen. Now, the average person to look at, that ain't an excuse. It don't matter what a woman wear. That don't give a man a right to rape her. And you right. But you also have to know that don't increase your likelihood. You know what I'm saying? Don't increase it, but that calls you how to respect male wisdom and knowledge and authority to tell you, maybe this is what you need to do to avoid dumb stuff. Don't be going out with a nigga by yourself that you don't know. Don't be out the door 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning by yourself. This is how you avoid dumb stuff. Now, he did do that. He said, please. But when he said, plead with it, he said, tell me where I'm wrong, and I'll spare you. Because ain't nothing. Tell me what I said wrong. Tell me what I did wrong to justify your conduct. You ain't going to have no answer. But again, that's when you take your emotions out of play. That's when you take your emotions out of play. If you know you got a man that's wise in your life, then you ought to listen to him. You know what I'm saying? If your daddy got wisdom, why wouldn't you listen to him? That doesn't make any sense. No, we're in Jeremiah 42. My apologies. 42 and 10 yet again. Now, all we're just discussing is when somebody's giving you correction and direction and you refuse it, you really hate yourself. That's who you really hate. You despise yourself. You don't have love for your own life. If you will still abide in this land, then I will build you and not pull you down, and I will plant you and not pluck you up. For I will repent me of the evil that I have done unto you. This is what they tell you. Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom you are afraid. Be not afraid of him, saith Yahuwah. For I am with you to save you and to deliver you from his hand. See, that's why he tell you don't have no fear of the beast. Then Yahushua tell you that some of you will be locked up and some of you will be killed, but be faithful unto death. See, Paul, Isaiah chapter 46, and then John chapter 11, verse 25 on general principle. Isaiah chapter 46. (46 and 3). Little boy, relax. Isaiah 46 and 3. Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Yasharal, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb, even to your old age. I am he. Even to the hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made you. I will bear you. Even will I carry and will deliver you. Now you have to sit back and look at this here, right? When Yahushua God was about to be crucified, what did they ask him to carry? Very simple question. They asked him to carry the stake. What is the delivery? And you know how you was born from his belly, and he carried you from the womb because the members of his body were fashioned before the world ever was. You were in his belly because that's why he split that side in him like Adam came out, and his seed came out of his belly, or he gave birth. So the same way a woman carries a child in the womb, he carries you in the womb. This is the purpose of him getting hit inside, the water coming out, for him to give birth to all the sons and daughters of the living Elohim. So if he tell you the same way that a woman would nurse and care for her child, Why forget you? And he told you that in Isaiah 49. That say, would a woman forget her suckling child who nursed? He say the same way that these things are written on my hand. I'll never forget you, because you say I've forgotten you. He say, no, no, no. You forgot me. He said, I ain't forgot about you. But see, that's a promise. He said he will deliver you. He will carry you. John 11:25. So you have no need to be fear of the king of Babylon. You don't have to have no fear of the beast. Who are them but men? Ain't it what he told you? The number 666 is the number of a man. So what you fear man for? John 11:25. Make it 11:17. John 11:17. Then when Yahushua came, he found that he had already lain in the grave 4 days already. Now Bethany was near unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. Many of the Yahudim, Martha and Mary, sat still in the house. Then said Martha unto Yahushua, Lord, if you had been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever you will ask of Elohim, Elohim will give it to you. Yahushua said unto her, your brother shall rise again. Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again, and the resurrection at the last day. Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believe in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Whosoever live and believe in me shall never die. Believe you this. Now come over here to Revelation chapter 5, I believe. No, it's chapter 6. I just feel like reading this anyway. Don't really need to, but we will. Six and 9. And 14 and 13 in Revelation on general principle. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Elohim and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O you who are Kadash and truth, do you not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given to every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. Now, Nebuchadnezzar ain't even take off on no killing spree like that. But we'll read that verse of Jeremiah again when we get back to it. Revelation 14 and 13. Make it 14 and 12. Here is the patience of the saints, and here are they that keep the commandments of Elohim and the faith of Yahushua. And I heard a voice from Shamahim saying unto me, write, Baruch are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, say the Ruach, that they may papers, and their works do follow them. See, that go back also, we were talking about with Paul last night, right? That he fought the good fight of faith, therefore a crown of righteousness is laid up for him. The only way that you could do that is through humility, and that's where you get honored. Because everything we're looking at with these people on his backside were getting honored is from their humility, because they received the chastisement or they received the instruction to have the wisdom to be able to know that I need to humble myself in order to be honored. See, everybody wants honor and esteem, but then you don't want to do the things that Yahuwah requires in order for you to receive that honor and esteem. We might as well go ahead and read 1 Peter 5 and 6 because we back here. I'll pick you up at verse 1. First Peter 5 and 1, because we're back. After that, we'll return back to Jeremiah 42. The elders which are among you I exhort, whom also am an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Mashiach, also a partaker of the esteem that should be revealed. Feed the flock of Elohim which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind, neither as being lords over Elohim's heritage or his inheritance, but being ensamples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive a crown of esteem that fade not away. Likewise, you younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For Elohim resist the proud and give grace to the humble. See, those that refuse instruction or rebuke, that'll be difficult for them to humble themselves to another person. Which means it'd be difficult for them to serve another person because they will look and value themselves greater than other people. And Elohim will resist you. Because I'm telling you, from pride comes selfishness. And from selfishness is going to come basically self-will, lack of self-control, because you're going to seek to fulfill your desires. And you're going to show love when you move with your mouth, but your heart's not going to be near to him. Because as Eve mentioned last night, everything be in the details. And I told you that before. The salvation is in the details. It's in the details. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Elohim, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the Elohim of all grace, who have called you unto his eternal esteem by Mashiach Yahusha, after you have suffered for a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. To him be esteem and dominion ever and ever. Amen. See, that's the part that you sit back and you don't realize that that's the purpose of the affliction. The purpose of being humble and taking his chastisement is that you will be made perfect, that you will be made strong, and that he will settle you. What did we read last night about? Strengthen you the weak hands, confirm them feeble knees. You know what I'm talking about? You sit back and look at the strength, and we just looked at perfect earlier with sincerity. You're serving with integrity. Let's go back to Jeremiah 42. And we're working our way to the pride of these people in Jeremiah 42 because they were full of it. Jeremiah chapter 42, we're in verse 11. I'll read it again. Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, whom you are afraid. Be not afraid of him, saith Yahuwah, for I am with you to save you and to deliver you from his hand. I will show mercies unto you, that he may have mercy upon you and cause you to return to your own land. But if you say, we will not dwell in this land, neither obey the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, saying no, but we will go into the land of Egypt, where we shall see no war, nor hear the sound of the trumpet, nor have hunger of bread, and there we will dwell. Now therefore hear the word of Yahuwah, you remnant of Yehudah. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, Elohim of Yasharal, if you wholly set your faces into Egypt, and to go sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which you fear shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt. And the famine whereof you were afraid shall follow close after you there in the land of Egypt, and there you shall die. So it shall be with all men that set their faces to go into Egypt and to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence, and none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I will bring upon them. But thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharal, as my anger and my fury have been poured forth upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, so shall my fury be poured out forth upon you when you shall enter into Egypt, and you shall be an execration and an astonishment, a curse and a reproach. You shall see this place no more. Let's look at this word execration. Now, this is kind of something simple when people tell you, you got to leave America and go here and go there. It don't matter where you go. If he ain't told you to go there. Where's the one place he said he gonna hide the people at? And he said he the one gonna choose who he gonna hide. Period. So it don't matter where you go. The famine gonna find you. The sword gonna find you. That's if you're wicked. Because you know how proud you got to be to go against what he told you to do? He told you don't take your stinking behind around there. I'll save you. But you didn't believe he was gonna save you. That's why you took the stinking butt around there. This whole execration. The word is Allah. So this is execration. It also means a curse or a cursing or a swearing. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all know what it is he called, right? You don't got to go get it. But in Daniel chapter 9, what did he say? Allow the curse that's written in the law of Moses. Kings, our princes, our priests. He said, you brought the prophets to us and we did not return. They didn't listen. Y'all already know when somebody tell you something that you know that you shouldn't do or is correct, and you don't, that's your pride that won't allow you to listen to it. Because you've already said in your heart, I'm going to do what I want to do. That's another part like we read the other day, to not glory in appearance, but glory in heart. Because we like to appear that we humble and appear to be obedient. But in reality, in Ezekiel chapter 8, what he said them people were doing in the temple when ain't nobody looking. All type of evil when ain't nobody looking. He said, look, son of man, look what they doing behind the door. In the chambers. Talking about Yahuwah's forsaking the earth. He won't see us. No, nigga, he saw you. Holding the evil and the good. He seen you. Niggas be in the back room, beat they meat, thinking he ain't seen. Just because the dog in there don't mean he ain't seen you. He seen you, nasty nigga. He seen you touching yourself, watching doggone porn. He seen you. He seen that crack you went in for. Talking about the brothers ain't gonna know. They already knew you were high. They smelled it on you. You walked in that eye, biggest quarters. Talking about you just been tired. You been working late. Nah, you on dope, boy. Talking about you ain't been smoking. You smell like a pack of Newport Platinums. You know what I'm talking about? You walk around here high as a bird. Go to war. Now I'm just messing with y'all on. I ain't gonna mess with y'all with it. Because you say it's celebratory. Nigga say it's a Wednesday. Ain't nothing happened. That nigga slid to the store. I'm celebrating, huh? What happened? Shoot, I got off work. That's a reason enough. Made it through the day. Liquor coming out your poles. Talking about this for my infirmity. Say, well, he said take a sip. Don't get a gallon and drink it. Say the wine ain't enough, bro. I had to get me some Don Julio. Strong drink. At least I need a little boost when I go into my marriage chamber. It's drunk. Hey, niggas are drunk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't busting your balls if you want to sip. That's your business. Some niggas ain't sipping. You niggas walk around staggering around. Then y'all be like, well, I seen Brother Johnson out there in the street drunk the other day. You said something to him? No, I didn't roll past him. What you telling me for? Should have told that drunk nigga get his stupid behind out the street. Then took the same bottle he drunk out of it and bust him upside the head with it. Over there to see my mama on Christmas. Stop lying, nigga. You went to take her a gift and pick you one up too. Showing the festivity, worshiping Saturnalia, you won't see. You know what we be looking at? Niggas be, this how niggas really look at it, keep it hot. Long as the congregation don't know. Nigga, Yahuwah know. You know what I'm saying? That don't bother you. You worry about if men don't know. Men know. You don't care if Yahuwah know. That's scary. You know what I'm saying? Nigga be around here down low pumps talking about they in the word. There's some niggas who talking about they Hebrew, them niggas gay. They ain't gonna tell you though. Let me leave people alone. Back Jeremiah 14. Leave these niggas alone, man. Nigga around here rubbing. How some of them niggas talk bad about women, niggas got to be gay. You know what I'm talking about? Because some of them niggas hate that. Talking about what they call it, the nigga woman. You know how them niggas be talking on them videos, man. You got one like, boy, y'all, you be hanging with niggas all the time. Well, you gotta watch a nigga don't never want to go home to his wife and hang with men. You know what I'm talking about? No, you want to hang with the brother, but then now then you don't want to go see your wife. So you want to hang around a nigga with rough skin. That's even worse if you know he moisturized. Brother, your skin looking glowing. What you been using? That nigga gay. Yeah, I don't care what you're using. I ain't looking at you close enough to know if your skin glowing. They look like you're taking care of yourself, brother. Drinking water. Nah, that's the cow. Gonna hit you like your man did. You ever thought about it? I think about it sometimes. You have nightmares. He didn't even call them nightmares. He called them daydreams. Biggie had a song talking about daydreams of an R&B chick. That nigga had daydreams of a Hebrew ark. That's what he was doing. Nasty nigga. Nasty nigga. Jeremiah, man, 42 and 19. Yahuwah said concerning you, O remnant of Yehudah, know you not in the Mizraim. Know that certainly I have admonished you this day. Now I'm going to get you this word for you admonished. Admonish my problem. Like I might be saying stuff in a joking fashion, but I'm dead serious too. I'm dead serious. That word is ooh. Testify, to bear witness, to protest. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and put that one together. Ayin, ooh, and daled. It means to testify, to bear witness against. I done told you. Ayin, ooh, and daled. This should be an easy one. A bird, sit still or feel the wrath of the bionic elbow. Would you like to feel the wrath of the bionic elbow? Oh, you would. Come on. Come get you something. You ready? Come a little closer. That's for your time. That does the road. Oh, you want to feel another? Oh, come on.
Conversion of your soul. Join to the door. You said I ain't ooh and daled. The word is not.
Nah, remember, look at this here, right? This is a testimony, a witness, a protest. So that's how you have it in that context. But see, now ain't established to the door. They're established to the door. That means they secure to it. That means they believe.
So to join to.
If you join to the door, that means you believe.
Look, they don't. They just want people.
That's what he said. I done told you. If you go down there now, I done told you. And what's the one thing when we think of the gospel of what he said everybody would hear as a witness against him? So what he telling you, you're going to know the sacrifice of his son. You're going to know it. Now, he just mentioned you're going to experience the pain of the sacrifice. And that's a strong one in and of itself. You're going to experience the pain. Because if you didn't want to experience the pain by humbling yourself, you're going to experience the pain when I bust you upside your head. Because basically, that's what the gospel is for. If you obey, it's the pain of the tribulations that which will lead to eternal life. If you disobey, it's going to be the pain of your disobedience. But either way it goes, you're going to feel some pain. Now, whether you feel it now or you feel it later, that's your choice. How many of y'all have been faced to have to make a painful decision? And you chose to take comfort instead of the pain of making the right choice? And you notice that you ended up causing yourself more pain because you didn't make the right choice and tried to delay it instead of just going ahead and taking that pain right now by making the right choice. And that's no different with the word. That's what you're experiencing right now in America. When they talk about the economy. Oh, we don't want people to die. So you delaying the pain of the right choice now for temporary satisfaction, which will lead to your enslavement. You know what I'm saying? Don't never avoid a pain to delay it. If the praise who indeed. Just make the right choice. That's all you got to do. Just make the right choice. Because you're going to feel the pain regardless. And I guarantee you, everybody in here can bear witness to it. When you delay that pain hit 10 times as harder than the pain you would have felt if you just would have took it off the dump. (42 and 20). Let me get this word dissembled for you. That word is ta'ah. That's a word we're familiar with, right? And remember, it's to go astray. Ta'ah, ayin, and hey. So guess what? You don't want to know the covenant of Yahushua. That's why you wandered off. He said, you dissembled in your hearts when you sent me under Yahuwah your Elohim, saying, pray for us under Yahuwah, according to all that Yahuwah Elohim shall say. So declare unto us, and we will do it. Now I have this day declared it to you, but you have not obeyed the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, nor anything for which he sent me unto you. Therefore know certainly that you shall die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence, in the places whether you desire to go in the sojourn. So guess what he just told him? You niggas was capping, oh, you didn't want to do it in the first place. That goes back to what I mentioned before, which I ain't never understood. Why go seek advice and counsel from a nigga when you know you're going to do what you want to do anyway? Why even bring it to him? Do you know that's a special type of stupid? You know what I'm saying? Do you know that? Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna say stupid. Do you know that's a special type of pride to go ask somebody for counsel that you knew you weren't gonna listen to before they even told it to you? And this is why. See, this here's an example. Why? Does it seem like that Yahuwah and Jeremiah care what happened to you after this? No, they don't care. And you know why they don't care? Because you were lying saying you wanted to do what was right. I came and told you what was right, and your stupid butt still gonna do what you want to do, and then you want somebody to feel sorry for you. I will not. That's what Yahuwah told him. I will not. Who knows what Yahuwah told Jeremiah not to do for the people? There were two things he told them not to do to this people. Who knows what those two things were? He said, don't pray for him, and then he told Jeremiah not to do something else. He told him, don't you marry nan one of these hoes around here. Don't you marry nan one of them. Don't you have nan child from them. He said, don't even pray for them. Now, sit back and look at it, right? Now look at what they're coming back to do. They asked Jeremiah what? To go pray for them, right? Now you see why he told them don't pray for these people. Because I'm going to bring wrath on their head because they don't listen. Because they don't listen. You know how strong that is for you who will tell you don't get married to nan one of these women amongst these people because they stubborn and they rebellious and they refuse to listen. Them strong words right there, man. But that's an example of what I've been telling y'all, man. When somebody tell you right and you don't want to listen, don't nobody feel sorry for you. Don't nobody feel sorry for you. You want somebody to feel sorry for you because you feel like you're entitled to that compassion of your bad decisions and you don't want to take accountability for the fact you brought that on yourself. Jeremiah 43:1. Sit down, son. And it came to pass that when Jeremiah had made an end of speaking to all the people, all the words which Yahuwah their Elohim, for which Yahuwah their Elohim had sent him to them, even all these words. Listen to what they say. Then spake Azariah, the son of Hoshiah, and Yehonan, the son of Kariah, and all the proud men, saying unto Jeremiah, you speak falsely. Yahuwah have not sent you to say, go not into Egypt to search her in there. Let's look at this word for pride. Ain't that son? Right, Mom, sit down. This ain't about putting your face on no count. The word for proud here, I want you to understand, it is Zed. I think we mentioned it the other day, but you can put something together with it. Zed. It means to be insolent, to be proud, and to be presumptuous. Quiet. Side. Quiet. 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 I want you to add, while you're thinking on that, I want you to get you Psalms 19 and 13. I want you to get you Proverbs chapter 21 and 24. The characters of Zayin and Dalit. Son, sit down. Relax. No need to get yourself in trouble. I want y'all to think about Zayin, right? We know it ain't going to be a plowing tool. You know it's not going to be harvest or to dig. You know it's not going to be weapon or nourish. It ain't going to be fruitful either. It's going to be one thing and one thing alone, and that you cut off. But what are you going to be cut off from if you got a dollar to go along with it? You're going to be cut off from the door. But that's a matter of fact, but let's just say you cut off from what? From entering in. Now sit there and think about that. Pride will have you cut off from entering into the house of Yahuwah. I want you to come over here to the book of Matthew, if you will. Matter of fact, make it look. And I can see that the way that leads to the sword of destruction. That too. Come over here to the book of Luke real quick. See what chapter I want. Luke 19:43. They refused to hear the correction and the rebuke. So since they refused to hear it, they were cut off. And that's what we read about Saul last night, because he refused to hear it. What happened? He got cut off. Give me a second. Children, y'all making a lot of noise. We don't know why you're doing it. Oh, yeah. That's it. Quiet, son. Luke chapter 19, verse 22. Make it 21. He said, "For I feared you because you are an austere man. You take up that which you laid not down, and reap what you did not sow." And he said unto him, "Out of your own mouth will I judge you, you wicked servant. You knew that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow." See, that's also another thing that you really don't want to step to Yahuwah and have to plead your cause. Because you know what's going to happen when you do it? You're going to do just what the servant did, and you're going to judge yourself. You're going to judge yourself because you already know you're wicked. And in the midst of trying to justify yourself, you're going to condemn yourself. This is one of the reasons why the books say they hate him that judge in the gate or rebuke in the. Matter of fact, Paul, come over here to Amos 5. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Eugene with the gangster link. Amos 5. Amos 5 and 6, if you would. Amos chapter 5 and verse 6. Seek Yahuwah, and you shall live. Lest he break out like fire in the house of Joseph and devour it, and there be none to quench it in Bethel. Hey, you're too loud. You ain't got nothing to talk about. You who turn judgment to wormwood and leave all righteousness in the earth. Seek him that make the 7 stars in Orion and turn the shadow of death in the morning and make the day dark with night, that call the waters out of the sea and pour them upon the face of the earth. Who is his name? That strengthen the spoiled against the strong, so that the spoil shall come against the fortress. They hate him that rebuke in the gate, and they abhor him that speak uprightly. For as much, therefore, as your treading is upon the poor, and you take from him burdens of wheat, you have built houses of hewn stone, but you shall not dwell in them. You have planted pleasant vineyards, but you shall not drink wine of them. For I know your manifold transgressions, that your mighty sins. They afflict the just, they take a bribe, they turn aside the poor and the gate from their right. Now notice he said take a bribe, and I mentioned this earlier before some of y'all got here, right? Y'all know what that stimulus checks really equate to? A bribe. You know what the law say about taking gifts? Because how does it blind your eyes? Because you can't be able to tell what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose of why people give gifts. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily 100% of the time, but you have to pay attention. Why is the gift being given? It's caused you to be lifted up in pride and rebel and to trust him over your God. For those of you who don't know where it's in the law, Exodus chapter 23. (23 and 8), if you would. What did Abraham say when they tried to offer him some money? He said, I ain't gonna take not nary thing from you unless you dare open your mouth and said you made Abraham rich. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? See, we don't have that mindset because we look at free. I want it, I want it, I want it. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, cap game strong. See, that's what pimps do to young whores. You know what I'm saying? They catch you out there, your self-esteem low, you're down bad, they promise you this and you promise you that. But as they like to say in the world, the devil's in the details. He ain't finna tell you finna sling booty all night long. And you ain't gonna get nary dime. Can you imagine somebody putting you on a stroll, selling about $45 worth of coochie, and you don't get $1? He buy you clothes and food, but no dough. Exodus 23:8. He said, you shall take no gift, for the gift blind the wise and pervert the words of the righteous. Now that cause your words to be righteous won't be a part of the system, because then it's going to corrupt their word, because that's how people are going to look at it. When you're taking it from the beast, or you're taking this, and then the third, make your words corrupt. Look at Amos 5:13, and I'll get that word for pervert in Exodus 23 in just a moment. I'm going to read 12 again. For I know your manifold transgressions and your mighty sins. They afflict the just. They take a bribe and they turn aside the poor and the great from their right. I'm going to look up for their right because it's in italics. That means it ain't there. Therefore, the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time. Well, what is the beast going to be trying to do in that time, lifting up people in their pride? Because you're going to afflict the just because you're going to take the bride. What is the bride? If you don't take the mark, what you can't do? That's the bride. That's the bride. Matter of fact, we're going to look at all the words, man, so you can see. The people ain't no good. They just ain't right. You understand? Don't get in the corner, man. You don't want to get in the corner, man. I'm in the wrong. Hey. Yeah. Still wrong. Oh, I was in the right spot. That word for bribe is the word that we just talked about the other day in Numbers 35. Covert. You're taking a bribe. That cost, that paying that rod. So you want your thoughts to be subdued by smooth words. That's what you want to happen. That's what you want to occur. Boy, be quiet. All you children, be quiet. You ain't got nothing to cry about. You ain't got nothing to whine about. Your life is good. Let's look at this word for pervert in the book of Exodus. It is salah. It causes your words to be twisted, to be distorted, or to be turned upside down. You have samat, lamar, and pay. So when you cause that to happen, ain't nobody gonna grab hold to the shepherd's words. Ain't nobody gonna grab hold to them. Because now you've taken this stuff from these people. Why do you think these people, even though they be Christian pastors, why do you think they recruit pastors? Because they know the pastors have influence. And if you take the gifts that they have to offer, it causes your words to be corrupted. All the time to tell the people stay in the house. All the time. Now, this is the word for gift in Exodus 23. It's shakad. It means a present or a bride. Means a present or a bride. No. So now you separated to be consumed from the interest, or you separated to be consumed from entering into this house. You only take the bride because of your pride. We talk about that in Malachi chapter 3, that they teach for hire. A lot of people do things, what we just read in 1 Peter 5. Don't do it for filthy lucre's sake. Back to Jeremiah 42. That's what was that. We weren't holding enough. No. 43 is where we at.
You want back to Exodus, right? Get that word?
Yeah. I'm talking about that. Read. Back to Jeremiah 43. Hey, be quiet. All of y'all need to be quiet. Be quiet. Ain't nobody got time to be trying to talk over y'all. Y'all ain't got nothing to talk about. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. What I said. What I said. Would you like for me to release you? Then be quiet. Jeremiah 43 and 2. Then spake Azariah the son of Hosea and Yonan the son of Kareah, all the proud men saying unto Jeremiah, you speak lies. Yahuwah Elohim have not sent you to say, go not into Egypt to sojourn there. But Baruch the son of Neriah sent you against us to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldeans, that they might put us to death and carry us away captives into Babylon. So Johan and the son of Kareah and all the captains of the forces and all the people obeyed not the voice of Yahuwah to dwell in the land of Yehudah. Jonan the son of Kareah and all the captain of the forces and all the remnant of Yehudah that will return from all nations, whither they have been driven to dwell in the land of Yehudah. Even the men, women, and sons, and kings' daughters, every person that Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, had left, with Gedaliah, the son of Hakim, the son of Shaphan, Jeremiah the prophet, and Baruch, the son of Neriah. So they came into the land of Egypt, but they obeyed not the voice of Yahuwah. Thus came they to the Tehaphins. Then the word came of Yahuwah came unto Jeremiah and Tehaphines, saying, take great stones in your hand, hide them in the clay and in the bricklet, which is at the entry of Pharaoh's house at Taphnes, in the sight of the men of Yehudah. Say unto them, thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharal, behold, I will send and take Nebuchadrezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will set his throne upon these stones that I have hid, and shall spread his royal pavilion over them. And when he come, he shall smite the land of Egypt, and deliver such as for death to death, such as for captivity to captivity, and such as for the sword to the sword. I will kindle a fire in the house of the gods of Egypt, and he shall burn them, and he shall carry them away captives, and he shall array himself within the land of Egypt, as a shepherd put on his garment, and he shall go forth from thence in shalom. He shall break also the images of Beth Shemesh, that is in the land of Egypt, and the house of the gods of the Egyptians shall he burn with fire. Now, what that sound like, y'all? Look at what he said, and we're going to go ahead and look at it, because these people didn't want to listen. The first thing he said is that he has hid his throne upon these stones. Let's take a look at that. Be quiet. You too, Eugene. I should just stop calling you Eugene, because you just gonna answer every time with delight. First thing we're gonna look at is this brick clean. Now, what do you think he means when he says, take great stones in your hand and hide them in clay? Now, of course, that word for clay is millet. You have mean, lamah, and tet. It means sort, commit, cement, or clay. You got mean, lamah, and tet. What you think that means? Remember, he that hears reproof gets a what? He gets a heart, right? Heart for the word, a belief for the word. But he said, take this stone and hide it in clay. You know what it said? Hide it in brick clean. You take that mean, right? We'll say ruach, because you're taking the clay, the stone, and hide it in the clay. You take that lamar, you take the shepherd. You take that tent, you got contained. And you see how the ruach was contained in Yahusha, and it was hidden because he hid the stone, because he said he the chief cornerstone, or the head stone has become the head of the corner. Men rejected it. So he hid himself in a fleshly manifestation. Come over here to 2 Timothy 3 and 14, if you would. Not 2 Timothy 3 and 14, 1 Timothy 3 and 14. First Timothy 3 and 14. He said, these things write I unto you, hoping to come unto you shortly. But if I tarry long, that you may know how to ought to behave yourself in the house of Elohim, which is the body of the living Elohim, the pillar and ground of the truth. And without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. Elohim was manifest in the flesh. So there how you see how the Ruach was contained in Yahusha, or how the stone was hid in clay. You should know that from the clay with the potter in Jeremiah. The potter's clay. Don't have the potter have power to fashion the clay how he want. He hid his son in clay. So you wasn't ready for that. See, since you were disobedient, didn't listen, he said, let me take Nebuchadnezzar, who is a similitude of Mashiach, when he say, take this stone and let's wrap it in some clay. You can't hide no stone in no clay. You're going to see it. You ever seen some stone? You seen clay before. You think you going to hide a stone with some mortar and some cement? Doggone cement almost is a stone once it dry. It's hard as it. But we were riding down the street watching the boys work out there, man, with a sledgehammer, trying to bust up the sidewalk. I say, why them white folks ain't getting boy no jackhammer? You ever swung a sledgehammer before? I'm talking about hitting on something that ain't gonna break. But him just hit, he just swinging that thing, that jump bouncing off that cement. That's a lot of more fun when you busting the wall out, and the wall come right on that. You know what I'm talking about? That drywall, you swing this thing, that jump. You ain't hit no concrete. This is what it said, right? Without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness. Elohim was manifest in the flesh, justified in the Ruach, seen in Malachim, preached unto the Gentiles, believed on in the world, received up into esteem. John chapter 1. Praise you. John chapter 1, probably by verse 29. Make it 27. John chapter 1, verse 27. He said, he it is who come after me is preferred before me, whose shoes latchet I'm not worthy to unloose. These things were done in Bethbara beyond Jordan, where John was baptizing. The next day John see Yahusha coming unto him and say, behold, the Lamb of Elohim, which take away the sin of the world. This is he of whom I said, after me come a man which is preferred before me, for he was before me. I knew him not, but that he should be made manifest in Yasharal. Therefore I come baptizing with water. John bare record saying, I saw the Ruach descending from heaven like a dove, and it abode upon it. And I knew him not, but he that sent me to baptize with water, the same said unto me, upon whom you shall see the Ruach descending and remaining on him, the same is which baptized with the Ruach HaKodesh. And I saw and bear record that this is the son of Elohim. So what did you see? That stone being covered in clay. Because that's why you see that meme in there. That Ruach came in. He said, that you see that Ruach fall on? That's the clay. That's the stone that's covered in clay. Now this word bricklaying, it means a brick mold. The characters here, the word is Malbin, mean, Ahmad, Bat, and Noon. Now notice that what he said, right? Let me go back to Jeremiah 43 for the totality of the sentence. So he said that you take the great stones, hide them in the clay, in the bricklaying. So he said, take them and hide them in the brick mold. Now pause. Let's look at what the brick mold is. John chapter 14, about verse 9. I'll get you we'll go through these characters in a moment. But John chapter 14, verse 9. From John chapter 14, verse 9 to John chapter 10, verse 30. John chapter 14, make it verse 8. John chapter 14 and 8. Matter of fact, make it 6. He said, Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man come unto Abba but by me. If you had known me, you should have known my Abba also. And from henceforth you know him and have seen him. Philip said unto him, Lord, show us Abba, and it suffice us. Yahushua said unto him, have I been so long time with you? Yet you have not known me, Philip? He that have seen me have seen Abba, and how say you, show us Abba? Believe you not that I am in Abba, and Abba in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself. Abba that dwell in me, he do the works. Believe me that I am in Abba, and Abba in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. You know what he told him? That's he the brick mold. Take this stone, wrap it in clay, but put it in my mold, though, in the brick. Now, when you see with that brickling, you got me, so you got Ruach again. You got Lamar, so you got what the shepherd teach. You got Bot, so you can sit back and see. You can sit back and even say shepherd. You can say the son's teaching. Then you got Noon. So now you see how the son is teaching you about the Ruach of life. And what did Yahushua walk around going doing? He said, the words that I speak unto you, they are Ruach and they are life. And what does that take you back to? He that hear reproof will get a heart, or that Ruach descending upon him. Because Yahushua heard that reproof. Because he learned obedience by the things that he suffered. Because he was that stone that was wrapped in clay and put in the mold. And that mold is the mold of the Father. Whether here in heaven or here on the earth, he was still in that mold. Or being conformed to the image of his Father, the same way that we're supposed to be conformed to the image of the Son. But we can't be conformed to the image of the Son when we refuse instruction. I'm going to get that here while we at it. Hebrews 5 and 7. Cut that light off. Who in the days, this is Hebrews 5 and 7, who in the days of his flesh, when he offered up prayers and was heard, and that he feared. And what did it say? That the fear of Yahuwah is in the instruction of wisdom, to be corrected, to know what to do and what not to do. Because that's what all scripture is inspired for. It's profitable for doctrine and for correction and rebuke and the instruction or the chastisement of righteousness. He said, though he were a son, that he learned obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. See, now that takes us back to what we're looking at with being perfect, serving him in sincerity and truth. Or the same thing that Paul wrote to the congregation in Philippi about being sincere and being blameless. And that sincerity and blameless come from the ability to be chastised. Back to Jeremiah 43. Now notice the other thing that he said, right? And he said to do this in the sight of men. That's why he said Elohim was manifested in the flesh, seen of angels and believed on in the world. He was seen of men. Now, verse 10 tell you that he will send the king of Babylon and set his throne upon these stones, and he is hid. And he will spread his royal pavilion over them. So let's take a look at that. First thing we're going to look at is royal pavilion, which is literally a splendid, a tapestry. Leave that bottle alone, sir. You have Sean, you have Pay, 2 Roshes, and an Oof. Quiet, son. You're being rude. I understand this, sir. And I appreciate your ability to actively recognize that. Thank you, sir. What's the word? Chauffeur. Royal pavilion. Remember, it tells you that the throne is spread upon the royal pavilion. Say Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his servant, set his throne upon stones that he's hid. And then he shall spread his royal pavilion over those stones. You have Sean, you got Pay, you got two Rashas and a U. So the first thing that you're going to look at is you're going to see, hey, the words of the highest or the son of the highest has secured you to a consumption. And what is that consumption that it has secured you to? It has secured you to the consumption of your flesh and of your desires, because that's the only way that. Because now when you look at the stones that are hid, those stones that are hid are you. Because that word for hid is taman, and that is to hid, hide, or conceal. You got tet, you got mean, and you got noon. And all it is, you can see that you're contained with the Ruach of life, all those that are hid in Mashiach, because you dwell in him, and he dwells in you. But let's continue on. He say, when he come, he'll smite the land of Egypt, and they pride because they refused instruction. How do we know they refused instruction? From Revelation chapter 8, when all them plagues came down, what did the people refuse to do? Repent. So they hated their own life because they refused to be chastised. Don't you know Psalms 94 tell you, blessed are those who are chastised out of your Torah? That's what he told. Psalms 94, for those who don't know that, it says. Psalms 94 and 10. Make it 94 and 8. Psalms 94 and 8. Understand, you brutish among the people, and you fools, when will you be wise? He that planteth the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? See, that go back what I mentioned earlier. You think you don't hear the words you talk against it? He think you don't see the stuff you be doing? He see it, he hear it. You lying to yourself. Niggas commit all manner of evil and go get in the bed, sleep comfortably. Like, shoot, Yahuwah didn't see it. It's a literal verse where they say Yahuwah is forsaking the earth. It is given to us to do as we please. Just think about that for a moment. Niggas so evil that they feel like I can go out here and do whatever I want. Yahuwah ain't see it. Ezekiel chapter 8. And then Ezekiel chapter 9. Right what we were talking about earlier. 8 and 7. That's how people live. He ain't seen. He ain't heard me. Didn't he tell you that to me, son of man, dig now in the wall? And when I digged in the wall, behold a door. And he said unto me, go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do here. Those of the house of Yasharal, and prayed upon the wall round about. There stood before them about 70 men of the ancients of the house of Yasharal. And in the midst of them stood Yazaniah, son of Shaphan, with every man a censer in his hand. And a thick cloud of incense went up. Then he said unto me, son of man, have you seen what the ancients of Yasharal do in the dark? Every man in the chambers of his imagery. For they say, Yahuwah see us not, Yahuwah have forsaken the earth. That means they feel like Yahuwah just walked away from the earth. You do what you want to do. That's how people live right now. Ezekiel chapter 9. Pick it up at verse 5. He said, and this is another instance, right? Again, what I'm telling you about, Yahuwah don't care. You know right, and you check in Proverbs chapter 1. When you don't listen, he said you're going to call on him, and he's not going to hear you. And he's going to laugh and mock you when your fear and your destruction come. Because he said when he called, you didn't hear. And when he spoke, you did not answer. See, that's the thing that we have to look at, because we're so used to being justified for making bad decisions. When you've been warned, Yahuwah don't care what happened to you. You stupid. You should have listened. When I told you bring your black behind on, you should have came and got in the car. Don't cry about it. They locked me up, daddy. You come find me out. Find yourself out, nigga. Don't drop the soap. Straight up and down. That's how you feel. Is that not how you feel? Don't drop the soap, nigga. Better sleep with your boots on. Because I told you to get off that block. Every day I told you, get off that block. And you didn't do it. Now you get locked up. You want me to feel, you my son. I'm going to come get you. No, I'm going to leave you in here because you're stupid. Now look at what he say now. Others said in my hearing, go you, this is Ezekiel 9 and 5. Go you after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare. Neither have you pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. So the only ones he don't want nobody to touch is those who live. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go you forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. It came to pass while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried, and said, Oh, Yahuwah Elohim, will you destroy the residue of Yasharal in your pouring out of fury upon Jerusalem? Look what he said. Will you kill them all? Look what Yahuwah told me. And said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Yasharal and Yehudah is exceeding great. The land is full of blood, the city full of perverseness. For they say, Yahuwah hath forsaken the earth, and Yahuwah see us not. And as for me also, my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. See, that's personal accountability and responsibility for your negative choices and decisions. Do you notice that Yahuwah said he will not what? He ain't gonna spare. He ain't gonna have no pity, because I had already told you. And you chose to do what you wanted to do. Indeed, let his will be done. But when you look at that on a natural level and you talk to people like that, that sounds harsh, don't it? See, people, they say they call that tough love, but that's not tough love. That's just accountability. Because you said he'd abandoned the earth. You said he don't see what you're doing. You said in your pride, I'm going to do what I want to do. So you got to take that because you hated your own life. You don't realize when you proud and you make bad decisions to do things that someone who has more wisdom and giving you counsel is telling you not to do, and you do it anyway, that you really showing that you hate your own life, that you don't value yourself, that you don't respect your life, but you want other people to respect it when you don't respect it. That's the same thing our people was doing, right? Talking about Black Lives Matter, right? You want other people to feel that your life matters when your life don't matter to you. See, you can't expect people to respect you when you don't respect yourself. That's not how it works. People don't respect people who don't respect themselves. They just don't. That's why people say, in this world, they be like, a woman can dress how she want to dress. But you can't demand that this man gonna respect you. You look like a common prostitute. Niggas don't respect prostitutes. There is not a real man alive that has any modicum of respect for a prostitute. Nobody respects whores, and the only people who respect whores are labeled what? A simp. Because now he's placed value on a low value item. Do you place high value on the things you can buy from the Dollar Tree? You know why you don't respect that great value of it? Because you only paid $1 for it. If it breaks, you can do what? I can get another one. It was only $1. It was only $1. Now, if you pay $10, $20, $40, $30, $40,000 for something, you treat it with what? A little bit. You don't treat with the same amount of care. So when people see that you don't respect and value yourself, they will not treat you with the same value and respect. Why do you think people prey on the weak and people with low self-esteem? You don't think these niggas can't tell you don't value and respect yourself? You don't think that woman can't tell you don't value and respect yourself? They prey on you. They prey on you and exploit you. Why do you think these politicians and all these people come around to black people when they want something from you? Because they know you don't value and respect yourself. So I'm going to prey on you and I'm going to exploit you. Then when you come crying, they don't do nothing for the black community. They laugh at you because you a dummy. You know what I'm saying? And then they done have people tell you, stop listening to them people when they come around. But all they got to do is trot out Joe Biden and say, here's Obama. He's his boy. You love Obama. You say, yeah, Joe. They did the same thing with Hillary Clinton. You fall for the same junk every time. And then want somebody to feel sorry for you. No, you stupid. You don't listen. You's an idiot. You's a fool. Why would anybody pity you? You have to value and respect yourself. When you demand respect for yourself, then other people have no other choice but to respect you or move on. But when you compromise yourself and you lower your value and you disrespect yourself, no one will respect you. And every man in this room know that. When you're dealing with another man, once a man don't show himself a respect, you're not going to respect him. If you know you can walk up to a nigga and slap him dead in his face and he ain't going to do nothing, you ain't going to have no respect for him. You're not going to interact and treat him like no man. You know what I'm saying? Women don't have that type of power. Ain't no woman just going to randomly walk up to you and slap the fire at you and see what you going to do. Because that's what they do in the chain gang in the jailhouse. They'll walk up on you and bump with you just to see what you going to do. See if you're a man or not. See if you worthy of respect. Anywhere you go, what is a man you always told to do? To carry yourself with respect, right? And every man will respect you in accordance. That's what men look for. You carry yourself with respect, I'm going to respect you. That's what men look for in a woman. I done told you that before. Carry yourself like a slut. Look at the type of niggas you attract. When you carry yourself like a whore, you will attract low-grade men. Then women complain about attracting low-grade men. I had to play it off camera because he was cussing. When my little dog was talking about that on you, that nigga had me dying laughing. You know what I'm saying? He said, no, you're stupid, you're dumb. You knew he was low grade. You knew he was low grade. You knew it. You stupid. That's no different than a man. You knew when you met. But what JT Money told you? That coochie was so good, you wanted her forever. But you knew she was a hoe. You didn't value yourself. You didn't respect yourself. Now this person has no respect for you. So when you don't value and respect the word of Yahuwah, he will have no respect for your wails and your cries. He don't want to hear it. Ain't passion for you. Because you say he don't see you. Back to Psalm 94. That's why I don't pay not to listen. That's why I don't pay not to listen. That's why I don't pay not to take correction. Because you don't think before Yahuwah sent that angel to slay, he was trying to correct them people? Yes. Psalms 94:9 one more time. He said, he that planted the ear shall he not hear. He that formed the eye shall he not see. He that chastised the heathen shall he not correct. He that teach man knowledge shall he not know. Yahuwah know the thoughts of man, that they are banned. Blessed is the man whom you chasten out of, O Yahuwah, and teach him out of your Torah. He said, a man blessed when he chastens you. But you know, we don't see that as a blessing. You don't see getting corrected as a blessing. The reason why you don't see it as a blessing is because in your pride, you won't do what you want to do. But that man say you blessed when he corrects you. That word is yasar for chasten, and that is to discipline and to instruct and to admonish, to testify against. Don't you realize that that's a blessing when he sends somebody to testify against your foolishness and tell you, son, turn from your foolish ways that you might live? And that's what we just read in Amos. Seek Yahuwah and live. Turn from your evil ways and live. But see, you don't see that as love. You don't got a condition in your mind that's judgment, or you shame me, or you doing this. That's your pride. Don't you realize pride is what causes people not to be ashamed of their doings? Did not Paul say in Romans chapter 6, are you not ashamed from the things that you've done which were unfruitful? You should be ashamed because you feel like you've done no evil. You feel like you haven't made a bad decision. You feel like you have obeyed the voice of Yahuwah like Saul did. But in reality, you refused instruction and so forth that you hated your own life. Proverbs chapter 8. (8 and 33). Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Hands off your mouth. Let me get the word for instruction. I believe it's Musar, but let me double check because it could be Yasar. And it is. Proverbs 8:33. Matter of fact, 8:32. Says, now therefore hearken unto me, O you sons, for blessed are they that keep my ways. Hear instruction and be wise and refuse it not. So he's telling you to believe in chastening and the discipline of Yahuwah and not to reject it. Because we've already know that Yahushua was made perfect through that chastening. So he's telling you to believe that, or to believe in the sufferings and be a partaker of the sufferings of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach, which is the gift of eternal life unto all those that lay hold to it. Blessed is the man that hear me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. For whoso find me, find life, and shall obtain the favor of Yahuwah. But he that sin against me wrong his own soul. All they that hate me love death. So when he's telling you that when you despise instruction, you wronging your own soul. You're not wronging him. And when you do it, you say you love death, which is Isaiah 28. You made a covenant with death. Disannul that covenant, but you want to stay attached to it. Relax. 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 It's okay. It's okay. I want you to look at this word for wrong. It's kamas. It literally means to do violence. You do violence to yourself. The characters are Kat, Meme, and Samak. So guess what you done here? Grab hold of chaos and got separated because of it. And we'd already talked about chaos last week. And what is that? You done grab hold to confusion. Now confusion and disorder is in your heart. And you won't humble yourself so he can take it out. That's why people don't end up with an understanding heart. Matter of fact, we start right now. You will willing, we'll pick it up along these lines this week. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate everybody's time this afternoon. Bless everybody at our house of Yah in the name of Yahushua. But the key component of understanding is this. You have to be willing to be humbled under the might of Yahuwah and be humbled by his words according to the belief of Yahushua HaMashiach. And he'll lift you up and exalt you. But if you refuse discipline and chastening, you really just hate your own life. And at that point, you might as well just put a gun to your hand and pull the trigger. Because it's the same difference. You're doing violence to yourself. Because you thinking that he don't see and he don't hear. And he heard everything you said and he see everything you doing. But again, blessings out the house of y'all in the name of Yahushua. I appreciate y'all. You were willing to pick it up on Wednesday and do it again. I don't know. I can't tell you. It doesn't tell you that.